climate change and its impact on Indian agriculture. So everyone know climate change is a global threat, and it's proving to be have a grave impact on yeah, resources like water and atmosphere. But these changes have intervened with biodiversity, biosphere, and natural resources adversely affect the health and life of all kinds of species. So India is a monsoon dependent nation, and resulting in seasonal variation in temperature, with more warming in the winters than the summers. So our country is largely diverse with climate, season, crops, and farming systems. So now, two-third of India is rain dependent, and India gets about 70% of its annual rainfall during the monsoon season. So now, 50% of household in India are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. um, when it comes to contribution to the GDP, India's GDP, it is about 16%. Yes, agriculture contributes about 16% to the India's GDP, and agriculture production is directly dependent on climate change and weather. So possible changes in temperature, precipitation, carbon dioxide concentrations are expected to significantly impact on crop growth. India has experienced about 23 large-scale droughts starting from 1891, and frequent of droughts is increasing every year. Since climate change is posing a great threat to agriculture as well as food security. Now, one of the most important resources for agriculture is water, and water is critical agricultural input in India. Now, 55% of total cultivated areas do not have irrigation facilities, and there will be more extreme weather conditions with more droughts, heavy rainfall, storms in agriculture production regions. Now, when it comes to developing countries like India, the problem is it's an additional burden. Climate change is an additional burden because there is ecological and socio-economic system already facing a lot of pressure by rapid population, industrialization, and economic development. So India could become warmer under conditions of increased atmospheric carbon dioxide. When it comes to impact now, there are several impacts like drought and food and energy security, nutritional loss, so on. So I'll be talking about all these one by one. And drought is drought in India is highly dependent on monsoon with 85% of small and marginal land holdings. There has been less than normal rainfall during the last 4 years in the monsoon season. I'm talking about in the year 2014 and 2015, it was declared as a drought year. Now, few evidence indicates that parts of South Asia have become drier since 1970s, with an increase in number of droughts. So now in the year of 1987 to 2002 2003, drought affected more than half of India's crop area, and led to a huge fall in crop production. It is also predicted that crop yields are expected to fall significantly because of extreme heat by the year 2040 2040. So my next point is food and energy security. There are three main A's in this. Impact on three A's. The three A's are availability, access, and absorption. So now, World Bank report warned that by 2040, India would see a considerable reduction in crop yield due to extreme heat. So now this heat also leads to heat wave. So heat waves are caused by global warming, which affects crop, aquatic system, and livestock. Heat waves threaten reducing fertility and milk production. Heat stress also considerably affect the commercial poultry. So this again, it's a chain, and then my next point is also connected to this, which is the nutritional loss. So nutritional loss are depleting due to raising levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide, minimizing the concentration of protein, essential minerals in most of the plant species, including wheat, soya bean, and rice. Uh, my next point is consequences of climate change. These consequences of climate change is morely impacted on the poor, and about in the year by 2030, rice and wheat are likely to see around 6 to 10% decline in yield, and poor agriculture production may lead to inflation, farmer distress, large political and social unrest also. Now, in the year 2018, there was a survey, economic survey, where India incurs about 9 to 10 billion losses annually because of extreme weather events. And it is also noted that farmers' income losses from climate change would be between 15 to 18% on an average. All of these aspects can hold back our economy, and Indian agriculture consumes about 80 to 85% of nation's available water. When it comes to rapid climate change, what are the causes for this rapid climate change now? The planet's average surface temperature has risen up to 0. 0.9 degrees Celsius since the 19th century. And as I told, reasons for this rapid climate change would be warming of the oceans, shrinking of ice sheets, ocean acidification, so on. And when it comes to warming of oceans, I've observed many of the increased heat, with about 700 meters of the ocean warming of more than 0. 0.4 degree since 1969, which say about the 700 meters of the ocean have become more warmer. Uh, the degree is like 0.4 degrees Celsius, and now shrinking of ice sheets in the Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets have decreased in mass. Data of NASA's gravity recovery and climate experiments show that Greenland lost about average 286 billion tons of ice per year between 1993 to 2016, whereas in Antarctica it lost about 127 billion tons as in the year 1993 to 2016. The rate of Antarctica ice mass loss has tripled in last 3 decades, and glaciers are retreating almost everywhere around the world, including Alps and Himalayas. So decreased snow covers and satellite observation reveal that amount of spring snow cover in the northern hemisphere has decreased over the past 5 decades, and that have where there is a snow melting is earlier comparatively, and global the global sea level rose up to 8 inches in the last century. Due to this, there is ocean acidification. Since the beginning of the industrial revolution, the acidity of the surface ocean has increased in the result of human emitting more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and hence more being absorbed into the ocean. So the amount of carbon dioxide absorbed in the upper layer of the ocean is increasing about 2 million tons per year. So my next last part of the presentation is how India can cope up with this climate change. There's no other way. That is only the one way is adaptation, and adaptation is the first approach which we can now uh, find it like now approach, and the first to give up there are two components under this. Before that, we have to give the first push to the 150-year-old idea project, which is the interlinking of rivers. Under this, there are two solutions according to me, which one is Himalaya and the peninsula, which is with having 14 to 16 links respectively. And the idea is to build a dam on the river, so that water level rises at the head of the canal, and allowing water to flow by the gravity to the next river. So India today has about 510 large dams, which have walls at least 15 meters tall. So this interlinking rivers will require about 3,000 more. The project will also involve building of 15,000 kilometer new canals, and This ILR will bring about 35 million hectares, over twice the size of the, which is the twice the size of the size of state Andhra Pradesh. Also about 34,000 volts of hydroelectricity. The second component is GM technology, genetically modified crops, is majorly a major component of climate smart agriculture. We would need drought resistant crop, and crop that produce more on the same patch of land, so that climate impairing land use is minimized. So India has been saying no to this GM technology, but however, GM technology has been used globally all over over 2 decades now, and millions of people have been eating GM food for years. So now my last part is to conclude, and climate change is not a new phenomena, as everyone know, and climate change poses many threats. And Indian region is highly sensitive to climate change, and agriculture sector is most prone to it, and have a direct bearing on living of 1.3 billion people. India has set a target of having greenhouse gas emission by 2050. It is an urgent need to coordinate efforts to strengthen the research to access the impact of climate change on agriculture. Um, that's it, and thank you.